Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of SubQuery's custom interview series. Today, I'm joined by the team at Automata and Hytron as well, joining me here to talk today about Automata and SubQuery. So, Hytron, would you want to introduce yourself, maybe to start with, and then we can talk about Automata.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Haichuan. Yeah, I'm the co-dev of Automata, currently also the project lead of the AnyDAO project, and in charge of the system level design and also the sprint management. Previously, I was a senior developer in Zilliqa. Now also majoring in the design and the development of the account system and the interaction with a small contract interpreter called Scylla, as well as other protocols. And I have been involved in blockchain since 2017 when I happen to know what blockchain is about, and I believe that it will rewrite the financial system of the world. So I decided to take part in this great revolution.
Awesome. So let's dive into Automata. What does Automata do? Tell us about that.
Yeah, sure. Automata Network is a decentralized middleware protocol for the app on multiple platforms. One of the middleware services we call Conveyor is focusing on minimizing the MEV issues. For example, front running and the sandwich attacks for NFT sales, and also DEX trades on many platforms. And currently also under developing world platform based on our middleware services called AnyDAO, which is an off-chain private solution for DAO governance with many special features.
Yeah. So I'm interested, on your website, you talk about a privacy middleware for Web3.
Yeah.
Obviously, that means you work with many chains to provide privacy-preserving features and features that help governance, for example. Can you tell us more about how these features work and how do you work with other providers out there?
So for our governance platform, we are actually running a backend which is secured by hardware encryption environment called TEE, which is short for Trusted Execution Environment. So currently we're adopting the solution provided by Intel SGX. So it ensures that the code running in this backend will not even expose the details for the user information even to the service provider. So that ensures the traceability, that ensures the credibility if we can prove the genuineness of the code. So with such a service running as a backend, we can ensure that when users submit their votes to our backend, their information for their identity and also their preference for the voting will not be leaked to anyone. Sorry. And to enable this multi-chain feature, we are doing in the way that we're using this backend service to aggregate the user votes based on the platforms that the project has defined in the whole architecture. So when user submit a vote to our backend, the backend service will scan through all the registered platforms and getting the balance of the user on a specific snapshot when the proposal for the specific voting session has been created. Yeah. Then as long as user, the more and the more user being involved in the whole voting process, we can ensure that the relayer is actually playing as a voting mixer, so that it can hide all the user preference and all the detail about their balances under a huge batch of voting, so that user won't be worrying about someone others knowing what their preference be for the specific option they voted on.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you're providing almost like a core infrastructure piece for highly secure, high privacy applications, namely governance voting. But I also noticed you're working across chain. There are many different chains, not just Polkadot parachains, but also I see on your website you've got Avalanche and you've got Polygon and Hiko. What challenges does that bring to developing across all these different chains?
The challenges is we need to cater for different framework and also different types of APIs and all kinds of logics behind all the different protocols. Yeah. And also we at the beginning of the designing phases, we have already catered for such a scenario, and already in the system level we have left enough placeholder for different protocols of blockchains to be onboarded. So that actually helps us a lot, even though we want to support more blockchains with different frameworks, such as others non-EVM or non-substrate projects is also capable.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We've been going through a very similar process at SubQuery with making SubQuery work with other chains. Namely, we've just announced support for Avalanche. And it really makes a difference if you design it and build it from the start to be multi-chain.
Yes.
And it's something that we're very thankful that we did a year ago, because it saved us a lot of time. So talking about SubQuery, how is Automata working with SubQuery? How does this fit a part of what you're offering?
So we for building this for building this AnyDAO project. So since there will be a lot of on-chain data for different DAO projects and different proposals, and also many voters information around there. So while loading all of those data into the front end, if we are working without an indexing service, it will be very insufficient and hard to get loaded for all the data from the chain, because there is no easy way to filter those information based on the substrate APIs. So based on this need, based on this demand, we actually found SubQuery is a good match for solving the problem that we had on this certain area.
So you're not just also doing privacy preserving governance voting, but you're also providing through SubQuery APIs to view that voting data and be able to access the voting histories, or an anonymized version of the voting histories, right?
Yes.
How was your experience using SubQuery?
It actually helped us a lot in improving the UX experience, and also it enables us some features like searching and filtering all the different kind of data we had on the chain. And actually, we already had a SubQuery project repo for in-house testing purpose, and we also during the whole process of investigation, we found that SubQuery has great documentation, and the whole framework is well designed and very user friendly. So we can roll out a prototype in a very short period of time, and with the hosting service provided by SubQuery, I think it's also very helpful. It saves us a lot of time to deploy the service by ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's what we're trying to achieve at SubQuery, is making the lives of developers easy. And I guess it's similar to what you're trying to achieve at Automata, with making the lives of those that want to set up and manage a DAO, and especially around the governance voting of a DAO, easy. So will we be seeing a fully featured off-the-shelf DAO solution from Automata, where you can get everything you need, including all the governance set up, all the governance tools that you'll ever need? You can go to Automata and get that provided as a solution straight away?
Yeah. Okay. If we compare all the popular concepts nowadays to Lego, so which is quite of the resemble, since they are all about building blocks to stuff and get combined together. Yeah, so we know DeFi will be the money logos, NFT will be the media logos, and then DAO will be the organization logo, of course. And we believe that it will set off the next upsurging of Web3. So recently, also we have seen rapid growth of DAOs such as Compound DAO and the recent launch of ApeCoin. And DAOs are like companies regulated on code. And the writing code is not simple. Actually, not everyone will be able to program their own DAO. So just like not everyone can write up the legal papers for a company. Such tools are incrementally important. So in the near future, we can foresee more and more DAO-based projects being sprouted, and more major projects adopting concepts of DAO for operations.
Yeah, definitely right. A DAO is a fundamental building block of, I think, future decentralized organizations, right? And they're taking the world by storm. You're seeing a lot of governments now looking at DAOs and thinking, how does it actually fit into is it a company or is it an organization? Is it a not-for-profit? Like we're seeing a lot of interest by different organizations and governments around the world around how they manage DAOs, because they're the future, and they've been very successful in blockchain so far. And I think, as you say, they will continue to grow. From your point of view, though, because you live and breathe this, you are working in the space and you're building some really cool tools that allow DAOs to scale. What do you think the future of DAOs or even just governance specifically within those DAOs, what do you think the future of that looks like?
I think despite of the governance, I think DAO will also be relying on some aspects of feature that traditional company has been relying on for all the time. But for running as a DAO, the whole things will be also quite different, since there are no like concrete way of like HR what's that called? What's that called?
HR and payroll.
HR assessment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it's hard to keep track of the working progress of all the involvement members.
What does the future look like? What do you think what do you think DAOs are going to look like in 2 or 3 years, and how is governance going to be done?
Yeah, I think more and more tools will definitely emerge and helping all the candidates for DAOs to help manage the whole organization and the projects, and different patterns of templates, such as the rewarding systems and different kind of project management system will also like okay, sorry.
I guess you're kind of right in that sense that project management tools, like they're only barely working for remote workers now. But when you have a decentralized organization, it's kind of a rethink. Everything we do these days in terms of people working together is kind of was originally designed for everyone to be like knowing each other in the office. But in a DAO, you don't necessarily know who you're working with.
Yeah.
So yeah, these tools are going to all require a rethink.
Yeah, so I think definitely we need some more decentralized design to the existing concepts that we had, for such as the project management. So previously, project management is like most likely owned by a certain small group of people, such as the project leader, and of course for the hierarchy of DAO. I think despite of centralizing the power for managing a specific project, we can actually have some things that called token gating to give different user with different access control, so that it can only allows users with certain I'd like to say familiarity or contribution to the whole project, then yeah, those people we can actually quantify all the stuff by such algorithms or different designs instead of in the traditional way, let the company owner to assign certain people to do certain things. Yeah.
You're recognizing where value comes from and what is valuable is going to be hard to do in a decentralized way.
Yes.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of organizational challenges that come out of DAOs. I think we might find, from my point of view, I think the best DAOs at the moment will be the ones that are designed for a specific purpose. So like some very successful DAOs have been designed to, like there was one that was set up entirely to purchase a copy of the Constitution.
Yes.
And it had a purpose and it managed to fulfill that purpose. I think they were slightly unsuccessful at the end, but they did a good job. Having a unifying purpose is really important for any kind of DAO.
Yeah.
And we'll see the ones that do well, in my view, is ones that will have that unifying purpose. My last question is around any advice that you would like to give to anyone thinking about jumping into the world of blockchain and Web3. Someone that might be working in a company in the old-fashioned world or in the old world, as we like to say, and thinking about moving over. What's your bit of advice that you'd give them?
I think for someone starting out, the best advice would be to work hard and never give up. Yeah. Also seek advice from the industry veterans and build your own connections with more projects. And yes, open your vision, like doing more research on different protocols with different technologies. Yeah. In the Web3, because everything is appearing so fast, we need to like keep our mind open and following the whole trend to make sure the things we build is not out of the whole aid.
Yeah, but also not too far in the future, right? Like we have to build
Yeah.
things that people can understand today and
Right.
people can adapt to easily.
Yeah.
You have to find the perfect amount of innovation, not too much and not too little. But yeah, no, Hachan, it was great to meet and also, as you said, seek advice from industry veterans, and you're one of those. You've been here since 2017, which is a long time in crypto and blockchain. So it was a pleasure to be able to talk to you today. And thanks for making the time to join me on this call. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.